Greetings, I'm the Monkey Lord aka Chappers, and today I'd like to talk to you about my top 10 pro touring tips, tricks and hacks. Well, what qualifies me to give such information in such a bold statement? I suppose I've toured both coasts of America, the entirety of the UK multiple times. I have been flown home ill, I have been without voice entirely, I have been bleeding, I have been sweating, I've put the time in and the graft in. All of these things together give me the confidence to know that I have the experience to give you some tips, tricks and hacks if you want to go touring in a band or on your own. Let's start with the most essential and basic area of touring, food and drink. It's really vital that you maintain your everyday normal diet while on the road. Don't be succumbed to the midnight kebab, 2 a.m. pizza with doner meat type situation, because as fantastic as it will be, it's really going to ruin you for the next day and probably the day after. So just try and eat the kinds of things that you would always eat at home. And if you're not even sure, because not a lot of people really think about that, do a list of things that you eat at home, go to the supermarket, buy them in advance, take them on tour with you. You'd be quite surprised how easy it is to road cook a lot of the stuff that you normally would eat, including things like vegetables. Now, my touring experience comes both as a guitar player and as a vocalist. Now, if you're a singer, you're going to be familiar with all the teas and the honeys and the syrups and the throat lozenges and things. And there are so many great things that you can take on tour that'll really ease the throat. But of course, none of that makes any difference if you're being crazy every night and talking and drinking and smoking after the show. So my number one tip for vocalists is when you finish the show and you've met some of the fans, stop talking, go to bed. Sleep is the best healer. But if you want to drink a tea, I drink black chai, yogi tea black chai, an Ayurvedic blend with black tea, ginger and cinnamon. Of course, if you are a guitar player, get as many pints into you as possible, eat as many pies and burgers as you like. It's not going to make much of a difference unless, of course, you're touring for quite a long time. Then it gradually will eat away at your intestines and ruin you. Oh, sorry, you just caught me doing some lubricate, which is a nut lubricant. Really useful for sustaining the tuning of stringed instruments. I also wouldn't recommend doing drugs because it kind of sometimes ruins the atmosphere and also prevents you from crossing borders. Something you would experience an extreme amount of on tour is boredom. You want to combat boredom every possible given opportunity with things like toys and games. Toys. Games. If you are lucky enough to be travelling by tour bus, I would always recommend sleeping closer to the front of the bus in the middle bunk, because it's much easier to get up in the night and go for a wee, but also sleep feet in the direction of travel because a sudden stop can give you a nasty headache. However, if you are Travelodge or Premier Inn bound, like the majority of us wonderful touring artists, then I recommend sleeping next to the window because it's gonna smell, bro. Now, much as you would in the immortal game of Diablo or Skyrim, you can take health and dexterity buffs. I'm talking in particular about things like ginseng, vitamin C, multivitamin tablets, immunity boosting syrups. You can get these from places like Holland and Barrett in England. I'm sure you'll have an American equivalent. Maybe somebody in the comment section below could let me know. Myself and the guys in Dorje have definitely noticed that when we absolutely smashed in the vitamins and immunity boosters, we didn't get ill. And when we didn't, we really got ill. In fact, one time I got flown home from Glasgow with double pneumonia. Thank you, Glasgow. As quickly as possible, learn to determine the difference between new coffee and old coffee. Old coffee will have a slight scum on top, new coffee will not. Just a couple of gigs into your tour, you're going to develop what I call tour claw, which is when your forearm, your gripping hand becomes much stronger than before, and you'll find that your gauge of string is too loose for you. This is a common tour phenomenon. Try saying that right now. I would normally use 10 to 52s in drop C sharp, but when I tour, I oft will move up to 11 to 56, just because I get stronger. Everybody does, and it feels great when you work in that brand new set and they're a bit thicker than normal. Sounds boss, feels great. As much as possible, use small gear. Now, pretty much all of you will know that this is my signature RD1. It's small, and as such, it's really practical for taking on tour. I've taken it on pretty much most of the tours I have ever done has been with a small amplifier, be it the Tiny Terror back in the day, the RD1 now. In fact, I have a backup because things get smashed around. As you can see, this one's broken a switch there and it's lost a knob and it's been battered about. It's really important to have small gear and a backup because big gear breaks backs, destroys emotions, it's heavy and it'll be way too loud. In fact, the RD1, I never run it full volume on stage, I never can. The sound guys are always like, can you turn it down just a bit? I'm like, I'm halfway up, bro. I'm halfway up. So the other guitar player in my band, Rabia Nassad, if you don't know who he is, go check him out, he's incredible, also uses very small amplifiers. The Kraken, for example, from Victory Amplification. Great amplifiers don't always come in big packages. Not only are you going to need way more picks and plectrums than you could ever imagine, because you're going to have loads of them to play, you're going to drop them, you're going to throw them in the audience, you're going to give them away to people after the audience, but you'll also just lose them. This is a common phenomenon known as pick loss. Happens on every single tour, so it's important to have lots and lots and lots of your favourite pick. I can't juggle at all. Disease prevention probably is one of the prime focuses for any big tour. You're going to be meeting every night, if you're lucky, 300, 400, 500 people. They're going to be breathing on you, they're going to be coughing and singing at you. So you want to keep your hands clean, you want to keep your mind clean, you want to keep your body clean as possible, because if one of you gets ill, guarantee you the rest of you are going to get ill at some point. Always bring things like water wipes, because you never know when loading out the back of a van, you might come across a homeless person who tries to help you, get angry, and then wet himself on you. Let's talk about guitars, because I'm imagining the majority of these people watching now are guitar players, high guitar players. I think it's a really good idea to bring a guitar for every tuning, and then you want to bring a backup, preferably with either a hardtail or one that is hard-tailed, because if you are the kind of band that uses Floyd Roses, different tunings, you're going to know it's so difficult and such a pain in the ass to string and get ready a Floyd Rose equipped guitar. You just need hardtail guitars as a backup because they can be in any tuning at any given time. They're quick to restring. So I always take out with me something like this Rob Scallon with a nice hardtail bridge like that, or something like this kind of S-type. This is the Captain America bridge, which is also hard-tailed, as in I've screwed the springs in really hard, screwed down the screws, and then effect it won't move, enabling it to be a wonderful specimen of guitarhood. In a constant effort to minimalise the gear that I bring and therefore the size of vehicle required, I would always recommend using dual-purpose effects pedals. So for example, the Immerse from New Neighbour is both a reverb and a delay. If only it were a reverb delay boost tuner. Make sure you take some kind of gear that means you are able to record yourselves both live doing your job, but also just when you're on the tour bus or in the van having a banter, having fun, because if you want to build up a following of people that get to see you, trust me, it's really important to harness things like new media, social media, and you want to film as much as you can and share as much of the story as you can and get across the personalities of the band, because every single member of your band is as important as the other one, including the bass player, Glenn. Touring is a really creative process and time, and what you probably will find is that all of a sudden, if you weren't writing before, you are now, and it's because your brain is involved in that process where you're creating every night on stage, you're having loads of fun with your friends, you're not thinking about the worries and problems at home to do with finances, etc., your job, who gives a damn about all that kind of stuff. It's just about playing on stage and having fun, and suddenly you're writing music again. Now, you want to be able to capture that as soon as you can. I use the simplest possible method to do that, which is just an iPhone, and I have all these things here. In fact, I just remembered I've got to show you something. This is absolutely amazing. I have a dog, her name is Luna. She is a Patterdale Terrier, 11-month-old rescue. She's a complete pain in the ass, but she's absolutely amazing. And she yodels. She sings a lot. I don't know why, it's just part of the breed, I suppose. Maybe it's because myself and my wife sing a lot around the house, but recently she sang a melody and I recorded it, and then I recorded myself singing the melody, and I'm probably going to put it in a song. Check this out. Nice, again. Of course, when I heard this melody, it got my brain turning, and suddenly I came up with a guitar riff that would suit the vocal melody. In fact, I might as well play it to you now. It's going to be on a solo Rob Chapman tune. Here's the riff. I called it Liquid Horizon. It was just a sort of an introspective study on different chord voicings that I haven't really used a lot of, like 11ths and things. The chords go like this. Always take with you a toolkit, even if it's a small one, and even if it includes tools that you don't think you're going to require. Ratchets, saws, buzz saws, electric drills, hot glue gun, hammer, tape measure, staple gun, biro, coffee filters, coat hanger, jam fairy, fairy liquid, tumble dryer, microwave oven, pot noodle, spam hammer, glass rainbow, elephant toothpaste. It's much more cost effective to use an affordable van and Travelodge Premier than it is to use a tour bus. But always make sure that the van is fit for purpose before you leave the van hire company, because in my experience this has been the one single most problematic issue of touring. We have gone through so many vans. In fact, one tour we went through, I believe it was 4 or 5 vans in a 6-date tour. Unbelievable. If you can, buy a van. If you can't, just make sure it's fit for purpose before you leave with the van. I can't stress that enough. Stressing it. More than I should. You will also sell much more merchandise than you think you will. Pretty much every band I have ever toured with or been in has sold out of merch on the road. So probably that shows you that most people underestimate how much their fans or friends like them, and also how much merch they need. That's the best film in the entire world, bar none. Buy more merch than you think you should do. And also, don't just get t-shirts, get beanies, get hoodies, get yourself vinyl cut. And if you can't afford to buy the merch up front, there are loads of companies like Awesome Merchandise who offer you a variety of payment plans and packages. I learn as much as I can touring with bands that either I'm supporting or they're supporting me. So for example, Phil X taught me to give every show a really strong 85%. Dave and Greg McPherson from In Me taught me not to continually test my voice and worry about it, and just let go and enjoy the tour and just do a quick bit of warm-up and then on stage. The Sorrentinos taught me to always use leverage when carrying gear, lift properly, and also use friends to help you lift gear. And the guys in Dorje taught me to love each other, look after each other, take it easy, and resolve conflicts with humour. I've been Rob Chappers. Take it easy. Chappers out.